Republican nominee and the next Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Give it up for John Reid.
This is a pretty big, good distraction. Thank you. I see so many friends and new faces here. Thank you, Alonzo, for sticking with me. And the conversation in the car on the way over that we're in it. No matter what happens, we're in it. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my family. Listen, I'm John Reid. I am a loyal Republican. Former Reagan intern, a Senate staffer, a businessman, a speechwriter, a radio and TV broadcaster, and now I am proud to be your nominee for the Lieutenant Governor. Thing that you need to know right now. In this new ugly era, I'm what we call a conservative fighter. And everybody who watched me on TV years ago and listened to me on the radio for the last 8 years knows I've been in this fight for our shared conservative principles for decades. And like many of you, I'm really angry to be betrayed by people I personally supported and helped. And I'm really saddened for what is happening to our party right now. Can I be honest with you? I don't think anybody has ever been more transparent about their personal life than I have. I get messages from people who say, you're sharing too much about your feelings. You're sharing too much about your past. You're sharing too much about your relationship. Well, now you see why that was necessary. Because we knew this was coming, and you now know me and my history fully. We've seen it over and over. The politics of personal destruction. They've done it to President Trump every day of the last decade since he came down that escalator. The Richmond swamp now does not like it when they encounter a different type of person who they can't control. So that's what's happened here. They have now tried coming after me, threatening me, pressuring me with every trick in the book. And I want to thank you for standing with me. You stood with me against a corrupt political machine that's been hindering Virginia's success for years. So many good people have said to me, John, I may not agree with you on some issues. I may not agree with you 100% on your lifestyle, but I know you at least fight for us. And with you, our future is worth fighting for, and they're not going anywhere, and I thank you. The truth is, this isn't just about me anymore. It's about us. It's bigger than just one person. This is bigger than who is white or black, who's old or young, who's evangelically strict or not, who's married or single, who's gay or straight. It's bigger than all of that. This is about the good men and women of Virginia standing up and saying, no more of this behavior. No more politics of hate. No more politics of personal destruction. No more politics of dirty tricks. No more politics of failure. It is time for us to come together as a party because the real battle is coming in November. And too much is at stake. Fortunately, Virginia is stronger today than we were 4 years ago, but we face some real challenges, and once again, we face a serious choice. To meet those challenges, we need leaders with vision and compassion and courage who are ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work. And you know what? That's why I left my job to run for this, knowing it ain't going to help me financially, and it's pretty personally dangerous. I still don't regret it. When we look across the aisle, let me tell you, we see what the other side offers. Not one of the Democrats seeking your vote in November has laid out a hopeful vision for the future of our Commonwealth. In fact, they've done the opposite. They've spent their time on the trail talking about dismantling the gains and the protections we fought for. They scream about how much they hate the president and they hate the governor. That's all I hear. So just as we did in my former boss, Ronald Reagan's time, we've once again arrived at a time for choosing. We've all seen how the other side views law and order. It's a convenient tool for them when it's advancing their political agenda. But it's a broken system when police do their job. And let me be clear, public safety is not partisan, it is personal.
Yes. Yes.
Every Virginian, no matter who you are, has the right to feel safe in your home, your school, in your streets. And we stand with the brave men and women of law enforcement who put their lives on the line every day. People in this room, remember, when Richmond, the capital city, was on fire in 2020, I made that abundantly clear on the radio when everybody else was too scared to say it. What did the other side do? Well, Abigail Spanberger voted in favor of radical legislation that would handcuff our police and limit qualified immunity for the police. LeVar Stoney. He abandoned the brave Richmond police officers who were doing their job in the city, and he capitulated to the same protesters who wreaked havoc on the streets. And in the Virginia Senate, where I intend to preside as your lieutenant governor, several Democrats voted to remove the mandatory jail sentence for assaulting a law enforcement officer. You see the difference here? To be clear, Republicans remain the party of law and order, increasing community partnerships in policing, finding effective ways to meet the mental health crisis, building stronger bonds between law enforcement and the communities that they serve are top priority for us. But so is defending the rule of law. And together in November, we've got to remain committed to choosing to ensure that Virginia is a place where justice is swift and it's fair and it's equal for everyone who lives here. We all know that strong families are the foundation of a strong community and a strong Virginia. And I want to be clear, I mean all families, not just Ward and June Cleaver and their kids, but everyone who gets up to go to work, to shelter and clothe and feed their kids and themselves and tries to live a decent life so their children might live a little better than they did. As your Lieutenant Governor, I'll stand strong for your parental rights, your religious liberty, and your economic freedom. Some people have said, oh, you're an extremist, because I've been open about my belief that we should work to protect the unborn, especially on the day they're about to be born? Maybe? That we should defend innocent life, that we should support adoption programs for everyone, and help the groups that are out there that offer family services. In supporting families, and as a Christian, I also understand that our nation was founded by people who were fleeing persecution. Our founders understood that so much that it was among the first rights that they made irrevocable. I'll always stand up and fight to ensure that no family is penalized for living according to their faith and convictions. This is important. I want you to hear what I'm about to say. You do not have to look like me, or worship like me, or live like me, or even agree with me. I will still stand up for your rights. I am a Republican, and I hope you have heard this on the radio, who believes strongly in your personal freedom. Your personal freedom. As we stand for parents and families, we have to ensure that we give them a place to thrive. That means cutting the burdensome regulations on small businesses, lowering taxes, ensuring that Virginia families can afford groceries, gas, and a mortgage without sacrificing their future. The other side has already shown us where they stand. Democrats in the Senate waged an all-out war against parents this year when they decimated the fundamental right of parental consent in their overreaching extreme abortion amendment. They stood against parents time and time again when the parents stood up in Loudoun County. And even though I'm a Protestant, I was outraged when they thought it was okay to investigate Catholics who attend the traditional Latin Mass. And when it came down to it, just in the last 2 weeks, all 6 of the Democrats who want to take me on in November have stated that they will repeal your right to work. Robbing Virginia of choice in employment. It forces you to join a union. It forces you to give up part of your wages to support the radical progressive agenda that national unions pursue, all at the expense of working Virginia families. Together in November, we will choose to reject the Democrats' assault on Virginia's families and Virginia livelihoods. We know that 4 years ago, the state of education sparked that revolution that propelled Republicans to victory. We've come a long way to shedding light on our schools, but we've still got a long way to go. My mom was a public school teacher. My dad was a middle school principal and coach. My grandmother was an English and history teacher in Greensville County. My grandfather was a principal in Suffolk. I went to public school until high school. My extended family right now goes to public schools. So I hate to be the one who has to admit that we got problems. But can we just admit it and finally create some new options for families here? The future of Virginia is in these classrooms today. And we owe every child, no matter what their zip code is, a world-class education. And we're not doing that right now. But as we all understand, education is not about indoctrination. It's about learning and citizenship and responsibility and creating opportunities for these kids. We've seen what happens when this far-left ideology infiltrates our classrooms. As your lieutenant governor, I'm going to fight to get the politics out of education and put parents back in charge. School choice, it means curriculum transparency, it means a renewed focus on the basics, reading, writing, math, history, not gender theory and divisive identity politics. We'll support our teachers, raise academic standards, open new pathways for trades and technology and real-world job skills. You get a job? Our kids don't need a lot of more tests. They need more tools to succeed. Parents should be partners in this, not bystanders in their child's education. We're going to work to improve communication, curriculum transparency, and community engagement, because when we work together, Republican and Democrat, our kids are going to win. And that's what I want to do. The other side has had all the time in the world to fix this system. But you see, that's not in their best interest. They've supported the radical indoctrination. They've arrested the parents who dared to speak out at school board meetings. They stood by the schools and universities that have allowed anti-Semitism to run rampant on their campuses, fighting against everyone, from the President of the United States to you and me, when we dare speak out. So, listen, we got to stick together. I've been around politics for a long time, and even when my dad was running, I never voted for a perfect candidate, okay? Never voted for a perfect candidate. As Alonzo and my family and my radio audience can tell you, I can find something to pick at all the time. Something I don't like, something that isn't perfect. We do not have that luxury now. We have to look at the 200 plus bad bills that Governor Youngkin correctly vetoed and recognize that we must elect a Republican governor again this fall. So, can I be the candidate? Can I be the candidate who seeks unity tonight? Let me help unify our movement. Not because of some little asterisk next to my name, but because you know I'm brave, you know I'm a real conservative, and you know I will fight for you if you put me in the House. So for all the reporters who filed a lot of stories in the last few days, I want to be clear. I'm going to be voting for our Republican nominee for governor, Winsome Sears, this fall. We need a Republican in that chair. And I'm going to be voting for a Republican Attorney General, Jason Miyares, this fall. Because we need a Republican in that chair. And I hope that as you watch me, you will also vote for me as your Republican Lieutenant Governor. Together, in November, we have got to choose to fight for the next generation and those that will follow them. These aren't campaign promises, they're commitments to you. Commitments to the families working hard every day, to the first responders answering every call, to the children in the classrooms dreaming of what's possible for their lives. This campaign isn't just a campaign, and the choice we face isn't about policies. It's now a movement to preserve the values that great Virginians before us brought to the founding of our nation almost 250 years ago. Faith, family, your freedom, and your responsibility in this society. We don't need more government in our lives. We need more accountability, and we need more freedom for you. And, I hate to say it, we need more common sense. So you see, we are once again back at that time for choosing, and the choice couldn't be more clear. Together, in November, we will choose to take a stand for Virginia's future. We'll protect our families, defend our Constitution, return our government to we the people. And I'll just tell you, I'm a Christian. Maybe not a perfect Christian. I don't know if you are. But I want to ask you today to pray for our governor, to pray for our lieutenant governor, to pray for our attorney general, to pray for the Republican Party and everyone associated with it. And I humbly, sincerely ask that you will pray for me. Let's get focused. We're not alone in this fight, as you can see in this room. We need to get back to work and get ready to win. God bless you, and God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia.